If you're like me, then you're always probably thinking about what the next big thing is. You're thinking of the next big business idea, how to go famous on YouTube. You're thinking of all these ways to get your name out there and start building a brand, whether that be personal or something that's beyond that in the business sense. But I've come to realize that while chasing all these different ideas, I've never actually just sat down and done one thing for long enough to see it have success. And so that's what I'm challenging myself and for you. Focus on one main thing. See, I'm ADHD, not diagnosed, but I could self-diagnose myself, and I'm pretty sure I am. And I go from one idea to the next, to the next, to the next. I've ran a business before in the sign and graphics industry. I've started a personal training business, and I have my real estate license. And while I've had minor successes doing that, there's always been this problem that I've ran into, and that's I haven't seen anything through long enough to see it have full success. These little successes I've had have financially helped us, but they've never gotten us to a level where I could say that, yeah, that was what I was supposed to do. That was the end goal. That was how it was supposed to turn out. I've always gotten just a few years in and then thought to myself, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. And then I changed dramatically. And so I've done a lot of 180s, 360s, and I always come back to the same place. It's that I love to create, I love to build things, but I never dedicate enough time in building these things to watch it turn into something big. And so here I am making this YouTube video, not really for anyone, kind of just for myself, as a reminder that you're never going to see a big result or accomplish your goals if you don't see it through long enough to get to that area. So how can I fix this? Well, number one, this year I have dedicated to getting myself in shape. It doesn't mean that I'm going to just go clean eating every single day of my life and I'm going to hit the gym every single day. That's not what it means. But what it means is that I'm going to focus on my physical health and stay consistent in that. Because the thing I've lacked the most is consistency. And the thing I need the most in order to accomplish these goals is consistency. So I'm starting with my physical health. After that, I have to develop more consistency in my life mentally. The reason I'm saying this is because the thing that causes me to slip up the most is where my head goes. It's chasing the next thing. It's comparison. It's looking for the next big idea without focusing on what I have right now. And what are those things? I have a camera. I have some camera equipment. I have some drones. I have my real estate license. How can I utilize that to grow something huge? And it doesn't even have to be huge, but for me, how can I grow that and take those things that I have and utilize it to put my family in an even better position than we already are? And what it's going to take is one thing, not 50 things, just one thing. So I'm going to utilize what I have this year instead of chasing what I don't have. And then number 3, I'm going to lean back into my faith even more this year. I've been so shy from sharing my faith, and there's no reason to. As a kid, I wanted to be a pastor. I wanted to grow up and spread the gospel. And as an adult, I've shied away from that for no apparent reason. My wife's a Christian, I'm a Christian, we love God, but I haven't fully lived it out and showcased it in every part of my life. And so that's something that I'm going to focus on this year, is showcasing my faith and not shying away from it. And so here's my challenge to you, to myself, to all of us. It's instead of consuming and consuming and consuming and then comparing and comparing and comparing, let's start to create. Let's take one idea, one concept, not 50, not what everyone else is doing, not what your neighbor's doing. Let's take one concept and let's focus on that this year. Let's build some consistency in our lives, in our physical life, in our mental life, in our spiritual life. And let's take all those things that we know and that we know about ourselves and lean into them. Don't try to be your neighbor. Don't try to be the guy that just made $1 million in sales in a month. Be yourself. Create. Don't consume all year, but start to create. You're going to see a switch in your brain. It's going to flip. You're going to start to realize that consistency builds up. And I'm speaking to myself on this because like you, like me, I have all these ideas, all these amazing things I want to accomplish, but I haven't even reached the beginning. I haven't even got to the beginning. The stages where you can see that some of those things are stacking up. Some of those wins are stacking up. And honestly, lean into the failures this year as well. Those are what's going to build your mental, your spiritual, and even your physical self. You need to embrace failure, embrace change, and stay consistent. That's my message to you. That's my message to me. That's my message for 2025. Let's stay consistent.